Nice to nice to have you here on a beautiful, 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 breathtakingly beautiful day. Um, we will see how long the reception lasts here. Just as I, so it took me well, probably 5 or 6 minutes to find a place just to park my bike, and then I called a friend just to see if it connected, and it took a while to connect as well. So we're off one tower, but heck, I haven't done a live tour since last week, I think, in Vancouver. So I thought it'd be fun to do one here and say hi to everyone. So hello and good afternoon. It is 1:30 in the afternoon. Sorry, I keep looking around because we have so many. Uh, Hi, lovely to see you. Nice to see everyone here. More the merrier. Um, it's yeah, it's the wildflowers are out everywhere. Hi there. Um, oh, I'm on your TV. How cool is that? That's really fun. Let's just curve this around just for a second. And I'll just show you the little purple bells that are coming out, little flowers coming out here. So we've been having a really fun weekend. It was my mummy's birthday yesterday, so she came out for lunch. And we had a really fun lunch, and I took her and her friend for a drive up looking for flowers. And then had a fun barbecue last night too. So hi everyone, and so it was great. And then a big sleep, and I woke up feeling ready to bike. So I went up Mount Norquay, which is always my good get the hearts working. You can see the ski runs up there in the distance. You'll see that is Mount Norquay, named for the first premier of Manitoba and the oldest ski hill here in Banff. And it's a good old climb up there. So I did it twice today. So I even before I came and did this live, I had to have a little nap. Now the geese have just been down around here. That's all geese poop, but that's good. But this is a little Echo Creek here. The reason I wanted to come down here, you're looking out towards the Massif Range, but I wanted to come down by Echo Creek because I want to wander up by the canoe club and show you the texture of the two waters. So this little creek is coming through the fenlands off of the Vermilion Lake, shallow lakes. It's a really high water at the moment here. So it's just perfect. There's people paddleboarding. The wind has picked up a little bit. This is where those of you who've been on virtual tours with us for a long time, we've actually seen muskrats and seen a beaver here before as well, which is really fun. Oh, it's a gorgeous day. Yeah, it's about 21 degrees, I'd say about 70, 72, and perfect temperature. It's actually going to get a little bit hotter next couple of days. And of course, Canada Day on Tuesday, we'll have a parade here in Banff. If I'm here for it, maybe I'll try and stream some of it. Maybe. I don't know if I want to stand holding the gimbal for that long, but it's a fun thing to do. Let's follow the path up here. So obviously, oh, and look at that. See the wild roses are out. And then out in the more shady places, there is paintbrush everywhere, everywhere, which is just so beautiful. Alberta calls itself wild rose country. So it seems an appropriate thing to see this time of year. But this is also, of course, Indigenous Peoples Month and Pride Month. So it's a couple of things to really celebrate. So, as always, and importantly, I want to acknowledge this is Treaty 7 territory and Métis Treaty 3, land of the Blackfoot and Tsuut'ina First Nations and Stoney Nakoda. But also, I shared on our Tumi travel page there the other day, I shared those posts from Salmon and Bannock, Indigenous restaurant in Vancouver, that I really like to support. And they put up a sign saying, normal hours for July 1st. It's more like we're still here day. Thought that was really good. And then being Pride Month here, because there's been so hi there. Hey, lovely to have you here. Um, there's been some more legal assaults on the Pride community or the LGBTQ plus community down south. So, once again, we'll keep the flags waving here and the inclusivity as best we can. So I like to share both those things. So people are all out biking along, and say this morning was 8 degrees Celsius, which was a nice temperature. Um, and yeah, I left the house. It was still a little below 10. But when you start climbing up Mount Norquay, I promise you, that works up the energy. Over here, there is actually a nursing home attached to our hospital, and our hospital in there, of course. Yeah, we had a big barbecue with a lot of our sports med people yesterday, and that was really fun in the evening. So, say lunch barbecue. Um, I have that's a good question. The at no idea um, why people's names are coming up in a funny way. Maybe it means that YouTube has done something to sharpen this up, and it won't cut out. Like I say, I was a little concerned that I wouldn't even be able to make it through the first 2 minutes of our little walk today. But there you go. So through the trees is what I want to show everyone, because you can actually see the very distinct line now of the glacial water down the Bow River. See the colors out there. So the glacial water, of course, coming off the Bow Glacier in Bow Lake. I did want um, I did want to mention that some of you read about a big rock fall in Banff about 10 days ago, and there was a very tragic loss of life. That's up at the Bow Glacier. That's up where the Bow Falls, well, not the Bow Falls, excuse me. Well, there is a waterfall there. But the Bow Glacier is off the Wapita ice field, and it's up by Nunti Lodge, a very popular hike and a longer hike. And there was a huge rock fall that came down there. It is nobody's fault. Now, climate change, perhaps, because the glacier has melted back so quickly. But the biggest cause of erosion here in the mountains is that freeze thaw effect. And areas that were under ice really not that long ago, I mean, perhaps decades, um, could still have more fluid in them, and so when they freeze and thaw, and that's what caused that rock fall. So it was sad, I think, and I have to remind myself of this too. One has to remember that when you have some hint of something like that happening, don't try and get the great photo. Just get out of the way. But it's just a side comment we should all remember in this world of influencing. Um, but it was just an accident. So here's the Banff Canoe Club. Both of the big Voyager canoes are out right now. And the main dog, a little unstable. That's nobody's fault. Once again, that's just the oh, hi there. Lovely to see everyone. Lovely to see all my friends. The lovely colored water. It's the two photos earlier today. They'll probably were wait when you look at that lovely turquoise water. And if you're wondering if I'm contemplating a swim later, absolutely. It's going to be even warmer tomorrow and the next day. But I don't tend to swim down here this time of year, except when you have the two colors of water. It's just so beautiful to swim into it. Now, all the trees and the stands are there. If you went through those trees, you get over to the stables, the Warner stables. And that's a great place for elk. So the elk sightings have all been quite random at the moment because the mummies are having their babies. There's the Canadian flag flying proudly at the moment. But just beyond it, Sulphur Mountain. Um, 36 degrees is too hot. And then down in the distance is the goat range. That was almost fully snowy just a couple of days ago. That's how warm it is. And now we've got these beautiful, beautiful wild rose bushes along here. So that's just gorgeous. Obviously, Kananaskis Country hosted the G7, brought together some really worthwhile world leaders and some of the same verbosity that one might expect. So that sort of came and went, certainly without a hitch on the upside. Um, barely even the attention that perhaps they thought it would garner. Um, yeah, stay safe running around the mountains. I do agree, but I am. I mean, today when I'm biking, I have my helmet on. Of course, not on my big fat bike, but in town. But the minute I'm off in the mountains, I have that. And we're very safe in our climbing practices, always have been. Love to see everyone taking all the different photos. Um, it is nice to see the Canadian flag. It's interesting, we had the unfortunate incident during the pandemic in this country with an extremist group taking over our national capital for one. And they sort of co-opted the Canadian flag from normal people. Now Canada's feeling probably more united than ever. And when you come to Banff here and you meet people from all over the world, but also all the new Canadians, they seem to sit down and read a book. I actually sat outside reading my current book at the moment, and then I got a little too hot right in the sun on my deck. This is kind of neat. Boating on the Bow is hi there. Hey, lovely to see some friendly faces here. Big hugs to everyone. It's nice to see some people back. I know that I've been doing far fewer virtual tours for lots of reasons. Obviously, be busy, and also YouTube here seems to back it in a lot. Um, and and then we're down to, I think, one functioning gimbal. Now I've gotten so much life out of them, I can't really complain. Look at this gorgeous Douglas fir tree here. A beautiful big base on them. Of course, the height of a tree doesn't tell you much about the tree. That's competition for light. But the width of the tree is what it's after. That's growing up. So we've gone from seeing lots of wildlife to quite a bit less when we get this crowded. That obviously affects affects everything. And look at all the parking. So I'm just coming up behind the White Museum, but I thought I might go up and loop around onto Banff Avenue, show you how busy it is, but also to remind everyone, like, because you get, it's not bad press, it's just honest press. Um, People think, oh, you can't move. I can disappear on my bike and not see another person. This is just gorgeous from the different periods here, from winter, spring, summer, and fall, all the different wildlife we get here along this river. Love the different little muskrats. I talk about them quite a lot because you see them around here. And of course, you're not going to see any salmon in the water here. En français aussi, pour ceux qui parlent français. But no salmon here because we're on that spectacular east slope of the mountains, which is funny. I find myself when I'm local guiding explaining some of these basic facts so often. But I think once you understand the geology, then you can also understand the economy and the ecology, et bonjour, and the history. So we're in now again. If you were a Blackfoot person, your family could have been here 7 or 9,000 years, and this is the center of your universe. But of course, in a global sense, we're not that heavily populated. Alberta seems to have peaked up. My province of Alberta here seems to have peaked up to 5 million people.